The co-main event for UFC 299 under the O'Malley versus Chito Vera 2 card will be between Dustin Poirier and Benoit Saint-Denis in a 5-round fight. This fight is just now confirmed. I guess over the past day a bunch of drama happened and the fight wasn't, and then it now is confirmed. So it was announced like a month ago. So whatever happened yesterday, they figured it out. This fight is actually happening as the co-main event for UFC 299. And this is a very interesting fight because up until today when I am making this video, I've been saying Benoit Saint-Denis. I have looked into more of the film. I watched a lot of their fights recently, just looking at how each of these guys can approach it. And this is going to be an early prediction, of course. So I'm going to get right into the video here. I think a couple interesting things to say about this fight is that Dustin Poirier obviously hasn't been the most active recently. I will say since the Oliveira fight, he was going 5 months in between fights, like the Conor McGregor fight and then the Charles fight. And then he took about a year off for the Michael Chandler fight, and then basically another year. It is closer to like 8 months or whatever. So, I mean, it is a very long time compared to what Dustin Poirier is necessarily used to. But after that Justin Gaethje fight, and now he's going to be taking another fight in, what, 2 months? So that is like another 8-month turnaround there as well. So he's not as active as he used to be. He is coming off a very rough KO against Justin Gaethje, who's actually been looking a lot better, a lot more composed as a fighter. And weirdly enough, Dustin Poirier, I noticed this in the last fight. It was actually kind of bothering me. It was stressing me out. I didn't realize it when the fight was actually happening. He was like moving a lot. Like normally you see Dustin Poirier like messing with his hair and pulling up his shorts and all that, but he was doing like a lot, like moving his front foot a lot. I don't know if he was nervous about the fight or whatever, but I noticed that a little bit more. I think when Benoit Saint-Denis, though, what I will say is I looked at a lot of the Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier fight. I know Michael Chandler's a lot smaller and he's a lot different fighting wise. I do think like their skill on the feet is kind of similar because I do think Benoit Saint-Denis is more of a wrestler than anything. But what I did notice is that, of course, Chandler has a style where he's a lot smaller, but he also like bounces around a lot and then dips in and like kicks or dips in and punches, that kind of thing, or dips in and shoots for a takedown. He does a lot of that, but I noticed the body kick was kind of there for Chandler. Chandler's a little bit smaller, so Dustin Poirier was able to at least land a little bit or like swat it away. I think the body kick will be there for Benoit Saint-Denis. You've seen it a lot from him in his past couple of fights. I don't know if he did it too much in the Matt Favola fight because that fight was pretty quick and he jumped to Gilly and ended up head kicking him once they got up, but nothing really happened there for too long. But you saw it in the Moises fight, a lot of body kicks, and he pretty much won against Ismail Bonfim due to the body kicks. So he has a really nice body kick. Dustin Poirier is definitely going to be looking to defend against that. But what the thing with the body kick is it opens up the head kick as well, which Benoit Saint-Denis does pretty well. So that's going to be an interesting factor coming into this fight. I think Dustin Poirier also... The thing with Dustin is you can't really break him in these fights, and I think as this fight goes on, it's going to benefit him a lot. Of course, we haven't seen Benoit Saint-Denis in a 5-round fight, but Dustin Poirier will not break. We've seen Benoit Saint-Denis is also pretty tough. I will say the Alezu-Zaleski fight, you kind of saw how tough he was. He probably could have been finished quite a bit in that fight, but he's still going, and it ended up being like on the feet where he got finished. So that can definitely be a scenario here, but I feel like this fight is kind of up in the air for me. I'm going to go Dustin Poirier after what I saw the other day. I think Dustin Poirier is a little bit more technical than Benoit Saint-Denis. And what I saw in the Matt Favola fight, what I saw in the Thiago Moises fight, which I will say, I don't know if Benoit Saint-Denis came into the Thiago Moises fight thinking like, I'm not going to respect this guy on the feet. I'm just going to walk him down and just try and land punches. But he was getting hit a lot against Thiago Moises. Thiago Moises was pushed up against the fence and he was just swinging. And he was landing really good on Benoit Saint-Denis. Of course, Benoit Saint-Denis has a really good chin. However, if Dustin Poirier is in that position, you're going to see kind of what happened with Chandler. I know Dustin Poirier was stung pretty badly early on in that first round, but once Chandler tried to do that again, he caught Chandler, and Chandler almost went down. So that's the thing with Dustin Poirier. Like, if you want to finish him, it kind of has to be that shot, like Justin Gaethje, Michael Johnson, Conor. If Dustin Poirier gets hurt and goes to the ground, he's not really going to recover and get up. But however, if he gets stung on the feet, you're going to see him recover, and he's not really going to break that way. But you can KO him. He'll most likely be out. But I just think, even if Benoit Saint-Denis wrestles, I think Dustin Poirier is still going to be out there. I don't think he's going to get finished on the ground. I don't think he's going to get finished, like, do these TKO strikes. I don't think he's going to get finished on the feet. I just think it's going to be really hard for Benoit Saint-Denis to break Dustin Poirier unless he goes very heavy to the body like he has been doing with the kicks. Keeps a decent distance away from each other where he's able to open up the body with the kicks and go high, kind of like what Justin Gaethje did. Although he didn't go for the body kicks, he went more for like the outside of the thigh. and then went up and then set up the hands, of course, with the Leon head kick or whatever. But I think, I don't know, Dustin Poirier is just really technical on the feet, and I can see him countering Benoit Saint-Denis. I can see Benoit Saint-Denis coming forward and him just getting caught when he's just super not so technical against the fence when he's trying to finish someone like Dustin Poirier. When you have him against the fence, he showed like almost zero defense against Thiago Moises, and that was like 4 months ago, which really is a worry for me because you have to have a decent defense against a guy like Dustin Poirier if you want to at least compete with him. So I am going to go Dustin Poirier by TKO in the 4th round. I think eventually Benoit Saint-Denis will slow down just due to his style. He's a brawler kind of, at least from what we've seen recently. He's a wrestler as well. So it's going to involve a lot of cardio. He's a stronger dude, so he's going to try and control you on the ground as well. So I am going to go with Dustin Poirier in like the 3rd or 4th round, maybe standing TKO. Again, Benoit Saint-Denis is very tough, so I don't think he's going to go out like that, like out cold or anything, but he's a very tough dude. Of course, Dustin Poirier is 35 years old now, so he's a lot older, but Benoit Saint-Denis is only 28. He's going to keep getting better and better. However, I just think at this point, I don't know if he's going to be able to break someone like Dustin on the feet or on the ground, and I just don't know. I don't know if I can trust him to win that. And honestly, I am rooting for Benoit Saint-Denis in this fight, so he keeps proving me wrong. Maybe he'll finish Dustin Poirier and shock a lot of people here, but I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier. I've been riding the Benoit Saint-Denis train for this fight up until now, and he's defensively, he's just too open, in my opinion, for a guy like Dustin Poirier, where I think he can just really mess him up on the feet. So I'm going Dustin Poirier, 3rd or 4th round TKO, standing TKO. Similarly to Aleksej Zaleski, except where it's not going to be like a couple rounds of just a beating. It's going to be more of, it's going to be competitive early on. I think Benoit Saint-Denis actually might sting Dustin Poirier when up against the fence. I can see Dustin Poirier kind of just returning and catching him, and kind of like the momentum switching about like halfway into this fight. So I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier, 3rd or 4th round TKO. That's what I got. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.